Concealers 2022 Q1. I realize it's mid-February and we're well into quarter one of the year, but I had to have some time to test some of these concealers for you. You might be surprised by a few, you might not be. One of my favorites made this one again. It'll probably make every concealer video I ever do. But if you wait till the end, you will see the concealer that won out and the color correction that I prefer over concealer. You can see the difference right here. Both look great. Both look great. But I give you options so you can decide how to look and feel your best over 40. Stay tuned. Hi, and welcome to my channel, Mature Makeup Masterclass. I am makeup artist Michelle Spieler, an over 25-year professional makeup artist. Having worked in television, film, and commercial in Hollywood, I now live on the East Coast, where I also do television, film, commercial, print, some bridal, all the things. But my biggest passion is to educate women over 40 how to look and feel their best. I truly love it. It's why I started a YouTube channel, and I saw a real void on TikTok of women representing women over, I saw some women over 40, but over 50 was almost largely ignored 2 years ago when I first got on TikTok. So welcome. I am talking about concealer today. What are my favorite concealers? What is my criteria for concealer? And if you stay till the end, I will do one concealer here, a traditional, and on this side, my other method of covering dark circles without any type of texture, because that's what we all want. Beautiful skin under the eyes. However, let's talk about the aging eye real quick for those of you who are new here. When we get older, we lose collagen, we lose elastin. We already know all that, right? Our face starts to hollow out, but our eyeballs start to sink into our orbital bones. I want you to think of a skull. Like if I was holding a skull, I need to just buy a skull. I used to have one for art school. If I had a skull, you would see the big orbital bones. Picture it in your head, right? And you can feel them. Our brow bone right here, you can feel the orbital bone. Our eyeballs, as we get older, are sinking back into our orbital bone. So we are getting the dents, okay? The dents are a three-dimensional issue. No makeup, no skincare on the planet is going to help the dents. The only thing to help the dents is some laser treatments and or surgery and or filler, okay? And I realize for many of you, including me, that's not an option. So we're gonna do the best we can with what we've got. And that's why I'm talking about concealer. I find concealer and foundation to be the most viewed topic that I talk about, and I see it on other channels as well. And I think it's because we are always chasing our youth. We're chasing our youth. We want to be young and tight and smooth again. But ladies, that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. And I'm not here to bum you out, but let's be more like the French. Let's accept some of our lines and wrinkles. If we can do little things here and there, little tweaks, little chemical peels, I'm all for all of that. I'm getting surgery someday. I'll take you guys with me. I'm getting my jowls and my neck done, okay? I am. I'm all for all the things. But we also have to accept that we're never gonna look 30 again. So let's love where we're at and do the best we can. And for some of us, that requires concealer. I have a love-hate relationship with concealer. I started wearing concealer in my 20s, and I didn't like it even in my 20s. I didn't like it in my 30s. I hated it in my 40s. Hated it in my 50s. Why? Because it's a layer sitting on some of the thinnest skin on our body. This is so thin. When we talk, like we move our muscles all around, and so we get crepey, we get thin. We get more discoloration, we have more veins popping through, we have the dark dents. And when you put makeup on top of that, you're just gonna see makeup. So I'm going to get right into it. I do have photos, so I will talk about each concealer. I will show you the photo, but here's what I'm not going to do. Here's what we don't do on my channel. I'm not going to show you how it looks at the end of the day because it's not fair. It's not fair to put on a concealer and have it look fresh and pretty, because even the worst heavy coverage dry concealers can look decent the first hour. Okay, but at the end of the day, it's nighttime and all I have is a ring light, and that's not a fair comparison. Also, I'm not oily. So if anything, concealer just gets dry and cakey on me, but it doesn't break all apart. I don't know if you ever watch Angie, Hot and Flashy. I love her. I watched her for years, and she will show products literally like breaking apart because she's very oily. I'm very not oily, okay? So I don't need to show you at the end of the day. As a 25-year pro, if I tell you it looks good at the end of the day, it's because it looks good at the end of the day. If I tell you, I didn't love it at the end of the day, then just trust me, as a 25-year pro, it probably looked dry and cakey at the end of the day. But anything that makes my video are concealers that I liked. I'm only talking about what I liked. I'm not talking about what didn't work. There's a million concealers out there that didn't work. Okay, first and foremost, I've talked about it before, Kosas Revealer Concealer. Even though I have warm undertones, I find so many products to be way too yellow, so I went with a C, cool, which means it's gonna have more pink in it, but I think that looks a little bit prettier around the eye. I even find some neutrals to be too yellow. So this is 2.5 C. I love this. I've worn this about a year. What I love about Kosas, it's a skin serum in a concealer. So it's your skincare and concealer. Now that doesn't mean you can, be lazy with your skincare, but it is skincare infused. And I really love the creamy texture. And more importantly is, look at that, is when it goes on, it looks like skin. And even at the end of the day, it does get a little dry because everything gets dry after 9-10 hours, but it doesn't get really, really cakey. Now that's completely dried down. I'm not getting any transfer. That's completely dried down, but you can see it has a real pretty sheen to it. Now, does it cover my dark circles? Maybe 50%, okay? And does it cover my dents? No, nothing covers my dents. See, look. No dents, dents. No dents, dents. This is a three-dimensional issue. This is lighting and shadow. But the Kosas is beautiful. I wear it most days because as a professional makeup artist, think of how close I am to someone's face. I'm this close to someone's face doing their makeup every day. I need to look fresh and pretty in person. I would rather have fresh, pretty skin under my eye and have a little darkness peeking through than have the darkness fully covered, but I look cakey. I hate that look. I hate it. And you got to remember, I've worked with high definition television since 2004. I can do someone's makeup in a makeup trailer and they look beautiful to the naked eye, and they get on camera and you could see maybe like a little splotch of powder that I have to go in and pat out. Or you could see like a little area where the concealer maybe stands out from the blush and you have to go in. High def shows everything. So I have such a trained eye. When I look at a high def monitor, I want everyone on the monitor to look like real skin, beautiful skin. And so this is my criteria, okay? Now, I was in Ulta one day, and some of you Clinique lovers, you'll know about this, some of you don't, but if you like Clinique, I'm gonna tell you, this even better, it's an all-over concealer, but it also has a corrector in it. And I was really impressed with this. This felt to me like Kosas. So Kosas you can buy online and you can buy in Sephora. What if you don't have a Sephora near you? You have an Ulta or you have a department store. The Clinique Even Better mascara, very pretty, very pretty. It really, to me, looked so much like the Kosas. It really felt a lot, because I think they've infused it with some skincare. Now, right off the bat, it's not as sheeny as the Kosas, but it was very pretty. And I will show a photo of how it looks in a moment because I'm not going to be trying this on today. And I am color CN20. I went with Cool Neutral 20 because again, I find companies go way too yellow. In fact, look at this. This is cool and this is neutral, okay? So I really liked the Clinique even better. How did it look at the end of the day? A lot like the Kosas. It dried out a little bit. Of course, all concealers do after 8, 9, 10 hours. Some of my darkness was peeking through, but I was fine with it. It's very natural like the Kosas. And for some of you, it's easier to get Clinique, and that's why I wanted to include it. Let me cut to a photo right now so you can see how the Clinique looked. Not bad, right? Most concealers look pretty good the first couple hours. It's usually by midday and I'm doing this and I'm like, Now right now I have nothing on because I'm about to demonstrate a concealer for you in a minute, my favorite one. But again, these are both really, really nice if you want to look the most skin-like and get some coverage, but nothing heavy. Okay. This next one I bought because when I first moved to North Carolina, it was 2012, and I did a commercial in the summer. And I'm from Los Angeles, and we get hot in Los Angeles, and we would have hot outdoor commercials or outdoor television, but it was a drier heat because it's desert. Here in North Carolina, I literally felt like I was working inside of a hot dog cart, you know, where it's all steamy. I thought, what did I do? What did I do? I just uprooted my family from beautiful Southern California and I moved to North Carolina where my hair is gonna look ugly every summer the rest of my life and I'm sticky. And then I gotta keep actors fresh for camera. So my sister, thank God, worked for Lancome at the time. She said, let me give you some samples of the Tint Idol Ultra Wear 24-hour foundation. She gave me a bunch of samples and I used it on my 3 actresses. And I think on my actors, I just used powder. I could not believe we were in the summer, we were at a white rafting center, whitewater rafting. And it was hot and they were in full sun and they were getting wet. And then we broke midday to eat lunch. And when I touched up my actresses after lunch, usually you'll kind of touch up a little bit of foundation and powder, redo their lips because they just ate. We had sandwiches that day. So, you know, eating a big sandwich is going to mess up your lips. I could not believe their skin. The makeup did not budge, not through the whitewater rafting, not through the humidity, not through the sun beating down on them and sweat. I was amazed at this Lancome. So, excuse me, I decided to try their Tint Idol Ultra Wear All Over Concealer. And I went with color Beige Porcelain because again, I wanted to go cool, okay? So if we look at Kosas was cool. And where's my Clinique? So one of the main reasons is I really listen to you, and a lot of you wear masks all day, especially if you're a nurse or a doctor or me. I'm a makeup artist. I have to wear a mask for like 12, 14 hours a day. We work long days in television and film and commercial. And sometimes you just want a concealer and some eye makeup because you're wearing a mask all day, but you just want it to stay on. Well, this is like a 24-hour wear. It's amazing. I even did this in a TikTok. I posted a TikTok this week and I used this and it was very pretty. It looked great the first hour. You'll see all of my photos that I took were in my car, outdoors, facing the biggest part of the sky. So you can see that in my photos, the concealers all look creamy and pretty and nothing looks dry and cakey, but you can see my darkness peeking through because I don't put it on real heavy. And I'll show you in a minute how I put on concealer. But this was really nice. And then last night, I did the test where I got my 10-time magnification mirror. I looked into the ring light and I really looked close up. And I was like, is it even still on? I was like, it was on. It was doing its job. It stayed in place. It did not look dry and cakey. It dried down, of course, all concealers do. It dried down, but it didn't make me look old, in other words. And yes, a little darkness was peeking through, but I thought this is a great one. Like I'm looking forward to trying this in the summer when I'm outdoors in the hot summer months. And for some of you who are more oily skinned, I think this is a really good choice. I really do. So let me show you the picture of how this looks right now. So I always try to be really fair with concealers, and I always try to, get the best lighting so you can really see what it looks like. But are my dents always there? Yes, because we're dealing with a three-dimensional issue. Another concealer I want to mention, but it's not here in this video today, but it's in my Pro Kit. I don't know why it doesn't make my videos. It's literally been in my Pro Kit for 5 years. It Bye Bye Under Eye. If you are an It Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye lover, it's a great concealer. I have about 12 colors. I can mix and match. I use them in my Pro Kit. I use it on television. I use it on film. I use it on commercial. I use it on bridal. I use it on corporate video, headshots, you name it. The reason I stopped using it on myself is I think I just wanted something more blendable and more youthful. Like I really fell in love with Kosas. It's probably the best concealer I've ever used. But again, not a lot of opacity, not a lot of coverage, okay? So I do want to mention It Bye Bye Cosmetics. Bye Bye Under Eye, because it is in my Pro Kit, has been for 5 years. The concealer that I use 9 out of 10 times on everyone in my chair. I can fit any color, man or woman, any age. I love the It Bye Bye Under Eye, okay? So if you're a fan of that and you're like, why doesn't anyone talk about that? It's a great concealer. It really is, and it comes in so many colors, okay? Next, I wanna talk about one that I haven't used. I don't know why. It's probably the #1 concealer in A-list celebrity makeup artist videos. It's probably in most professional kits for celebrity makeup artists. It gets 5 stars on just about any site you go on. And that is the NARS Creamy Concealer. It is their Radiant Creamy Concealer. The reason I haven't used this is because I stocked my whole kit with the It Bye Bye Under Eye. So I was really invested in that. And then when I switched to clean beauty a couple of years ago, NARS did not fall into clean beauty. Now at Mature Makeup Masterclass, I am using all brands. I try to do clean as much as possible, but I'm using all brands because I want to cater to more women. So let me show you on this eye how I use the NARS. It's very pretty, and at the end of the day, I was very impressed, and I'll show you a picture in a minute. So I have my skincare on and I have my whole face on, but you can see redness around my eye. So what I will do is I only put it where I am the most discolored, okay? And I'm gonna let that sit there for a minute. I will go in. I love these little tiny beauty blenders. They're the mini ones, and it's super spongy, and you dampen it, and I really love it for blending out concealer. Remember, I'm used to working in high def TV where you could see an edge if it's not blended right. So I'll let that sit for a minute, and then I'm only using this finger because it kind of fits right here right now, but I'll usually use ring finger. Sometimes I use pinky finger. And I'm not going all the way up to the lash line because that's gonna make my eye look really small and weird. So do you see all that shadow under my eye? I'm leaving it. I love it. It saves me time because I don't have to put eyeshadow under there. I'm gonna tell you what color I'm using. I am color light 2.5. It's called Café con leche. Café con leche. Cafe with milk. Okay, do you see how it's a little yellowy? It's a little yellowy, right? But in person, it doesn't look that yellowy. Now, I'm going to take my damp beauty blender and I'm going to, you saw how I like to blend. To me, skin blends on skin. Okay? Then I go in with my damp beauty blender. Sorry, I had a little something under there. Okay? And it's definitely radiant. It's definitely creamy. Do I have dents? Yeah. But look, see, this one doesn't have anything on it, so it's not terrible. And what I found is that at the end of the day, it did not look super dried out and cakey. It still had maybe the tiniest radiance to it. It was all in place. Maybe a tiny bit of darkness was peeking through, but not much, not for after 10 hours. That's usually my test is 8, 9, 10 hours. Cause I figure, if you put on your makeup in the morning, work an 8 or a 9 hour day, come home, then maybe you're kind of checking it. So let me show you the picture of how this one looked. Okay, so not bad, right? Very pretty. Very pretty. It's fine. It's fine for a concealer, but this time I'm going to show you a system I like even better. Now, I'm going to let this sit for a few minutes because what I do is I go in with setting spray and I set it. I don't powder around my eyes because I am older. I have smaller pores, which usually means more wrinkling. You ladies with oily skin, you complain about your large pores, but you have less wrinkles than someone like me. So I will let that kind of sit for a few minutes and then I'm going to go in with setting spray. But on this eye, I'm going to use the Demi system. And the Demi system is really the whole reason I got into Demi because color correction just made sense to me. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can go watch my Demi video. It's called Color Correcting Over 40. This product changed my life. You use different colors based on what color you're correcting. It's the opposite of the color wheel, right? So I have some purple and red here, but there's also a lot of blue in that purple and red. So today I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to use O number 1. O number 1 is a light peach. And I'm going to go right where that now, if you watched my color correcting video, or if I color matched you, you know that normally in this area, I like to use green yellow number 1. It's a yellow. I love it. But I just decided today to do O number 1. Okay. Do you see that? Do you see that sheen It's because it's wax-based. It's wax-based pigments, so it looks more like skin. Now, do you see my tear trough? In my tear trough is a lot of blue and purple. So I'm gonna go in with O3 and I'm going to paint right in my tear trough. And I'm gonna go up in here too, where I get really dark and there's a blue vein that runs up the side of our noses. I have a little old blemish right there. Not that this is the right color for blemishes. Okay, and then I have a couple blue veins right here, and nothing covers blue better than peach, O3. Now I am feathering this on. If you've tried Demi and you're like, I think I like it, but it's creasing a little on me, you're putting it on way too heavy. You're literally feathering it on, okay? So what I like is, do you see the difference? I am facing a window and I have a ring light. Do you see the difference in the two eyes? This one is your traditional concealer. Okay, it's skin color that covers some darkness and evens you out a little bit. But you can, I mean, that looks pretty good, but you can still see my dark circles, right? Because it's a dent, it's indented. That's a light and shadow issue. But over here, do you see that beautiful sheen? So now when I'm real close up in people's faces, I have this beautiful sheen around my eye because it's wax and it's gonna stay put. It stays put. It's amazing. And then look, when I look down, you still see the dent, right? Look, do you see my dent? But look over here. Do you see how my dent has color in it, but over here it's just a shadow of a dent? It's brilliant. It's brilliant. Demi color is brilliant. I've never tried anything like it except this French company, Lamac Pro, which doesn't work as well and is very expensive and very convoluted, and it ships from France. So I don't even talk about that system unless you're international. If you're international, go to Lamac Pro. I'll put a link in the description. It's literally www.macpro.com. Mac Pro. Lamac, it's a La Maquillage Pro. It's not that maquillage crap you see on Instagram that they say they can match anyone's skin. Not that. La Maquillage Pro. And they ship all over the world. And you can get green for red. You can get peach for what I've just done. But look at that. It even covered a sunspot over here, the peach. So it's amazing. In fact, I know this is a concealer video, but while we're at it, I'm gonna take a little bit of this. See this orangey yellow? And I'm gonna go into my broken capillaries. Do you see? Gone. Gone. Isn't that amazing? So that is why I like Demi, because look at that. You cannot tell me that is not a huge difference. And I'll show a picture right now. I'll show you a picture of how Demi looks in my car, and you can do like a visual comparison of how I showed all these other concealers, how those look in my car. Watch this. Do you see a difference? Because I sure do. I see a huge difference. Okay, now, here's what I like to do. I like to spray a little setting spray on the back of my hand. The best one I've ever used is the Charlotte Tilbury airbrush. This is the travel size. I have her full size in my pro kit. I take the tip of my beauty blender I've already got a little creasing, but that's okay. I'm not mad about it. We get a little creasing at our age. Okay, and then I set it. And then I'm gonna go in here. And I lightly set the Demi, just so lightly. Like less is more, ladies, less is more. What do you think? I will always buy and review concealers for you, and I always look for, I mean, I'm definitely putting NARS in my Pro Kit. I see a real value in this, but I also have the full Demi system. Like I have like 20 colors of Demi in my Pro Kit because look at how pretty that is. And can you imagine a mother of the bride and being in people's faces and having all that color correction under her eye, but no makeup, just colored wax? Can you imagine how pretty she would feel having a beautiful sheen around her eye on a special occasion and not worrying that people are gonna see like cakiness? Listen, it's no comparison, but Demi might not be for everyone, and that's why I talk about all the things, okay? So if you would like a free color match, you can email me at michellespieler@gmail.com, and you are going to literally send me a photo of yourself facing a window just like I am, shoulders up, and don't send me this huge picture with you way down here. I need to see, your face close up because I have to see what your main distractions are. My distractions were that reddish purple under my eye, my tear trough, which gets dark, my broken capillaries, and this huge sunspot over here. Those are my distractions. Now I have sunspots over here. Looks like the Big Dipper, but I don't mind those. They're on the side of my face. I don't see them, so I don't, but this big one I see. Broken capillaries, redness around my nose, I see. Reddish purple all under my eyes. Look at the difference in the tear troughs. Do you see the difference? Anyway, send me a selfie. You have my email. I'm happy to color match. I get overwhelmed every day. I have about 20 women asking for color matches. That's a great problem to have. I'm happy to help. I'm so happy to help. But just know it could take 48 hours for me to get back to you, especially on the weekends, because I do try to give time to my family. Bye for now, everyone. Oh, subscribe, please. Let's grow this mature community. Let's grow it, and let's all age. We'll lock arms and we'll do this aging game together, okay? Bye for now.